Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcoming you to Nerds on Culture with Stormy B Man for this Monday, September 11th, 2023. This is number 56 in the series of Nerds on Culture, and we have a special approach to the show this evening featuring a story byline on the latest Godzilla film that is coming December 1st, released in America and internationally. It'll be called Godzilla Minus One. And this is a Godzilla film not produced by the American film company, but TOHO from Japan. These people have been producing the Godzilla films since 1956 when the first film first came on the scene. And this is number 33 in the series of Godzilla films that they have produced alone, outside of what America has tried to do. And America has another Godzilla film coming very soon, but that one has nothing to do with this. They are not intertwined in any way, shape, form, or fashion. But one of the reasons why we're going to talk about this one this evening is the film is going back to one of the original stories of Godzilla coming forth in a post-war Japan. So the design of this particular Godzilla features a combination of many of the most popular iterations of the creature, and you will see it when we show some of the images and when the film comes out. They've been very sharp about how they've presented him, but one of the things that you could say is this film, Godzilla is like angry. He's hell bent. And if any of you had a chance to check out Shin Godzilla from, I think it was 2019, that showed an iteration of Godzilla where he was morphing when he first came out of the, I guess you could call it the radiated exposure. He started out as some kind of lab experiment sea urchin that morphed and morphed and morphed and continued to morph until the end of the film. A lot of people don't even understand that when that film was made, there were deleted scenes because when they destroyed Godzilla at the end of that film, there were bits and pieces of him splattered. And that was supposed to indicate that with all the metamorphosis that he was going through, the bits and pieces that were scattered were supposed to turn into other creatures. So he morphed into something even worse than what they thought they were dealing with. But those scenes were cut from the film because they weren't certain if they wanted to continue that storyline, because the way it was going, it would get away from Godzilla more than the radiated creature that was born of the technology and mad science that man wreaked across the earth. So, but with no further ado, talking about this film, allow me to bring my co-host of the show in this evening to talk about this creature feature. We got Drew Titan in the building. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Salute, salute. The Godzilla, another instrumental part of my childhood. You know,
Yeah, I was still young enough in the early 70s where I saw a couple of Godzilla films in the theater. And I think the first one that I could remember back was Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. I saw that one in the theater, and that creature was just horrible.
That was
It was like,
disgusting.
yeah. And do you remember, if you saw it, that scene where Godzilla reached inside of him,
taking out the
pulled,
babies or whatever it
pulled
was?
the eggs out or whatever that
Yeah.
was supposed to be his next
Offsprings.
descendant. So yeah, offspring. Man,
Yeah.
but what that film was a statement about our polluted earth.
Yep.
And you see, Godzilla was born of, this big film that came out this summer, Oppenheimer, where they talked about the big bombs that they used in World War II that destroyed Tokyo.
Yep.
Godzilla was born out of that
Out of that.
through the fiction, but again, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster was talking about us and how we were polluting our earth. And Godzilla was fighting to survive, even though people took it like, oh, he's saving the earth from the smog monster, but he was saving his earth, his world, because he
Right.
wanted to exist. And in fact, in the English dub of the film, they had a song, "Save the Earth." Remember, it's like,
Oh yeah.
in that film, it's like, wow, man, it take you back when you really think about some of this stuff. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Godzilla -1 a little bit this evening, and also something that is coming in November on Apple TV. So if some of you have Apple TV or got the app or whatever, there's a small mini series that is connected to the Godzilla and Kong films coming, and it's called Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah.
Now, there's a trailer out for this as well, and it's showing Godzilla from the US Godzilla films and other kaiju beasts and creatures that are born of this world and storytelling. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well, because I'm thinking about getting my Apple TV app so I can check this series out. And
Right.
even in the trailer for it, they're showing some stuff, and the CGI looks pretty good for it to be a television series.
Television, yeah.
It's a mini series, but that is dude, it's amazing. See, this is the part of us and what we do with this particular show where we get to geek out. Some people may not give a darn about Godzilla or whatever, but these are all of those things that we attribute to the culture and growing up watching these films and enjoying them for what they were, popcorn and soda, and just enjoying and having a good time. And the creatures, the producers of these films, they got very creative with these creatures. We saw at one point, we saw Godzilla fly. Remember that?
Yeah.
We saw Space Godzilla.
Yeah.
We saw of course the son of Godzilla, but we saw so many iterations and stories being told. Planet X, just all kinds of stuff, man. You know what? In the kaiju world, Godzilla is the king of the mutants, man.
Yes.
He's
always around.
Your thoughts on this as we,
Oh
get ready.
man, you turn around and it's like, man, this is one franchise. No matter how bad, it's made its rounds, and it's not going anywhere. And just when I thought America had ruined it, I understand they were trying to capitalize. We went through a change where CGI has gotten a hell of a lot better. You even look at the Harry Potter films from when they first started till the last ones, you see the change in CGI. They're doing things now that they just couldn't do even 15 years ago or more. So the fact that they rebounded and they're able to revamp stories, and this story is just another, dare I say, prequel of the story. And this kaiju is actually when you say he's king of the monsters, he like really is. He's the most popular one. He's had cartoons, regular movies, different versions. America,
Comic books.
comic books. We done had him twice. He had a Saturday morning cartoon over here. Remember that?
Yes.
And he's back. He's back now. This Godzilla versus King Kong crossover, that was huge. That was huge. And the storyline was pretty damn good. And now this. And look at that.
This is the Toho Godzilla coming up in Godzilla minus -1. If you look at this creature, man, oh my goodness. And you could see elements of some of the other Godzillas in him. You see?
Right.
Look at that, man. And guess what, people? In the early 2000s was around the last time they made Godzilla films with the man in the costume, the man in the suit. And when they decided to start making him CGI, the first one that they did, he was already better than the one that Sony Pictures did. Remember, with Matthew Broderick and everything, where he looked like one of the Jurassic Park creatures.
I remember that.
But this one here, this is going to be CGI as well. But look at the detail. His body, the scales in him and everything, it just looks like something born of like radiation. He's mutated, you know, the way his appearance.
They even had a Godzilla on Netflix.
Yes.
CGI. I watched that. That was pretty damn good.
Yeah. And then there was like a cartoon too that they did. Man, a lot of this stuff was like, look at those dorsal fins, man.
Yeah, I'm really interested as to what the storyline is going to be. And he's like an anti-hero. He can either help you or he just, runs over your whole town. It's always Tokyo. Tokyo gets the business more than any city in America when they do these, monster films, man. I mean, look, this guy's fun, man. This Godzilla movies are fun, but I'm really interested into like what's the storyline here and what they're gonna do, man. I'm really interested.
Well, the short storyline is, and this film will be released in November in the eastern part of the world, Japan, November 1st, November 3rd, and December 1st for us. It says, after the war, Japan's economic state has been reduced to zero. Godzilla appears and plunges the country into a negative state. So, I mean, this is like, now I don't know if that means that it's set during World War II or if it's set during a modern world, excuse me, I'm getting tongue tied, a modern war where Japan is suffering. But the whole point of this is like, we've heard online, we've talked about the 14 karat folks, right? You know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that the people from the mighty country of Japan, and I call them mighty because what they have come back from is amazing. And to be respected. The creativity behind what they're doing, even with a creature like this is their way of saying never forget.
Yeah, this is these movies and this they're always making films about these giant robots and things of that nature. I remember talking to an adult when I was a kid. He said, a lot of stuff is made out of fear, And I said, what do you mean? And he said, we dropped a bomb on their ass and there was a lot of damage and a lot of birth defects and the imagination gets twisted. It's like, what if this nuclear fallout actually starts doing things to the animals and because it affected not only the people on impact, but it affected the produce. It affected where people farm at. It affected everything, and what comes of that, and one of the not theories, but one of the people making, people that make stories and things of that nature. They're like, what if another negative impact was, a little lizard, creeps up on some radioactive something and it becomes something else. And then we have another problem, a worldwide problem. You understand? So a lot of these things was made out of fear. All of these giant robots and, Robotech and Gundam and all of this stuff, it's spun off of these stories from the 60s and 50s of being fearful. What did this radioactive things do to the stuff around us? And we might not see the effects of it until 50 years from now, when something comes up out. Wasn't that sort of what Pacific Rim was about?
Yes, absolutely.
They just come about the earth out of nowhere. It's like, what the hell? It's like it's been there the whole time. I mean, so it's one of those things. It's great story, but it's made out of fear, and it's kind of tragic when you think about it.
Yeah.
Dropped the bomb on their ass, man. That was a lot.
Yeah, that's why I call them a mighty people, man, because they could have just perished and been out of here. But those people survived and they thrived and they turned things around to become a leader in this modern world of technology and education. And I mean, just, again, I have respect for that should be respected. And again, when you really look at it at the depths of what Godzilla means, that's their way of saying never forget. And we get people telling us to never forget certain things when it's regarding their culture and everything in this world or whatever, but they want us to forget what happened to us and our people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's sad, man. When I was a kid in my neighborhood, I met a Holocaust survivor. And she was super old, but when that happened, she was like young, and she still had that, like, the tattoo on, I think, her hands or something. And we were real like young, and the stories that she was telling us, it was creepy. And then somewhere my boy told me around where he used to live, there was a guy, a Japanese fella, that was like, he was around the time when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
mm-hmm.
And he telling his story on his side, what he went through as a child. And then and I don't want to get too far off topic. There was a guy that I never met him, but another friend of mine met him, and he was a survivor at Pearl Harbor that set off 2 years. I think 2 years later they dropped the bomb on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, man. And it's like, who the hell were we, as a world? And we haven't gotten any like better. And I guess I said all that to say this, these ideas with these monsters, believe it or not, it comes from all of this fear. And a lot of the people that thought of these Godzillas and these robots and everything, it comes from a place of fear. These guys that created these monsters, they were like kids. This all started with an idea, and it scares you. And this is the manifestation of it. Not to say that this will actually happen, but this was out of fear. And it's actually sad. It's kind of tragic, man.
It's very tragic, man. And again, for us to be able to come on and have a conversation and reminisce about these films and the creature, the prominent creature from these films, it allows us to have a serious enough talk about it that kind of brings a little bit of history and understanding of who we really are. We're the monsters.
Yes.
No, we're the monsters, believe it
Yes.
or not.
Yes.
Salute to Eric Jordan out there in that super chat. He says, that's real dope, Stormy B, man. You spitting nothing but facts, good brother. You be cooking. Hey, thank you, Eric Jordan. I appreciate you,
Eric
brother.
Jordan always supporting, man. This brother's
Yeah,
everywhere, man. Salute to you, good brother. For real.
thank you so much for that, man. But yeah, so and again, this is like my way of contributing, man. When I the creative process of what I can do. Anybody can just put stuff out there, but if you can do something and kind of help people learn a little bit more about themselves, about you, about us, and that kind of process, and have a little fun doing it as well from time to time, that's what it's all about. Making life worth living, and being a useful vessel. Because I was talking, one of the things, and not to sidetrack too much, but just to explain something, about 15, well, a little longer than 15, because I'm getting older now. It's like about 20 years ago, I was entertaining the fact of writing a book, and I had these bullet points that I wanted to put in the book. And one of the things that I wanted to incorporate in there is what you guys had a chance to experience from me being on live, whether I'm doing my show, partnering up with Drew on his channel, or even on this show or my Kung Fu shows, analogies, various metaphors, and things like that, because these things would come to me spontaneously, and I would have something to say. And when I came across being able to become a content creator for what we do out here, it's better than writing the book, because it's allowing me to be creative on a more regular basis, but to share in increments more and more material with you all. And this goes out to the world. That's why a lot of people think we going live and we're going to do a show, and they be out here and they be cussing and swearing and saying some embarrassing things and stuff like that. It's like, but you don't realize that you're dumping this out into the universe, and what you put out, you get back. You know what I'm
True
saying?
story. True
And
story.
that's why my creative process, I always try to put something really good out there, for even when I do mess up, at least it's outweighing me messing up or whatever. But it's like the whole point is it's well intended. You know what I mean? And
That's right.
that's why, and I just want people to understand that. I want people to understand that. So these are my chapters. When you guys, whether you catch it live or catch the replay, or you miss it all together, this is me. This is me putting out. And that's why I encourage, tell people, subscribe, share it, whatever. But it's like only a few. But at the same time, what do I say? Everybody ain't gonna make it.
Everybody ain't gonna make it.
So that's it, man. But yeah, this Godzilla -1 is going to be very interesting, man. I think it's gonna be a little bit different from Godzillas that we've seen in the past. Here's another shot of him and a closer imagery of his dorsal fins. Look at that. That looks.
It's a lot of detailing in that, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah. You know what that looks like, Stormy? You ever been, and I know you can relate to what I'm about to say, because you're an artist. You ever been drawing something, and to the naked eye, it looks done, but then you're like, okay, I can add this and I can add that. This looks like whoever imagined this, they just had a good old time just adding and adding and adding, and they enjoyed their work. There's some of my best work. I have stood all day, over 8-9 hours over a paper. I'm like, oh, I could do this and I could do that. And it's like, it seems like it's never done. This person who did this had so much fun doing this. And I can appreciate the work, man. Look at his eye. Look at it. Look like he's looking down at you. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
Detail in this, man, and the things that you can do. Have you ever worked with Photoshop?
I haven't, believe it or not. I haven't really worked with Photoshop.
Yeah, well, Photoshop, you can take your drawings, right? And like on your tablet, you have like a pen for your tablet, and you can actually draw something and add color and add 3 dimensions and layers, and it could look like this. I'm dead serious. This is probably done on Photoshop or another application. I don't know, because Photoshop is old now, but they got all these wonderful apps where you can actually accomplish. There's things that I'm drawing, and I'm like, man, this thing looks damn real now. You can take it to the next level, like coloring and things of that nature. You have to take a course in Photoshop to understand how to use it, man. But I see things like this, and I appreciate it. This is nothing but layers right here: gray, black, red, pink, hot pink, green, yellow, blue.
The red kind of gives you that sense of like something volcanic bubbling beneath the surface, right? It's like that's what that is.
You know what he did at the top on the upper right hand side? All he did was, if I could explain, he took the wide, he made the pen wide, and he made it look like the sun was gleaming from the right side. And he just took the pen and stretched it right across. Made it look misty. I know a little bit about Photoshop. I have the program. I know a little bit about it. Not everything. I need to take a course. I have enough time in the world. It's a whole course you got to take. But man, this looks awesome. It makes me want to see it more.
Yeah. This upcoming image I'm going to share, I don't have a whole lot of them because they've only released a few, you know, because they want you to go see the movie. And I understand that. So that's pretty good. But this right here, and this is also in the trailer, which we're gonna share that this evening as well. But take a look at this shot right here.
Oh my God! How do you get away,
dude? He's actually stepping on people.
And you know, you know what just dawned on me? It was a different time in the 70s and 60s, even the 80s. You knew that he was walking through a residential place, but it's like, man, he got to be stepping on people. So we're in a different age now. I mean, they're actually going to show him, people are going to be taking L's all through the goddamn, man, this is kind of crazy.
Dude, look at that though. It is like, and if you look between the feet in the back on the ground are people who have already been stomped out. Yeah. It's like, this is the part that you don't really see in all the other films, like Drew just said, and what they're depicting now, because technology has gotten to a point where you can maybe you know, crystallize and make it more realistic, not for gore's sake, but for what the actuality would be if this were to take place realistically, you know.
Right.
And that is an amazing shot right there, which is why I thought I would share it. That's incredible. That's incredible.
My gosh, I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
This is in theaters up here too, in select theaters, right?
Yeah, December 1st for us, November 1st for them.
Yeah, we gotta wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
But yeah. So, but I'm gonna, and we can talk about it further, but I'm gonna go ahead and share this trailer. It's only like 1 minute and 30 something seconds, so it's brief, but you guys check this out, man. And when you see this, I'm telling you, the American Godzilla that fought Kong and Godzilla King of the Monsters and the Godzilla film from like 4 or 5 years ago, they got nothing on this guy. They got nothing on him, man. But check this out, you guys. Check this out.
Fair use.
Fair use. Dude, when I go to see that, I'm going to see it in IMAX, bro.
You got to.
Got to see that in IMAX.
Is it going to be dubbed or is it going to be you have to read it just out of curiosity? Because I don't mind either way.
That I don't know. I don't know that yet, but they'll let us know before it's released, you know. But even if it is in Japanese and with English subtitles, I'm there.
I got to see it. I'm getting my popcorn.
All the Shaw Brothers films I've watched with subtitles, I'm an old pro at that now. So
Word out. I damn near speak the language of some of these things.
right. Yeah. Did you see him take a bite out of that train?
Oh man,
like,
what is he so mad at?
Dude, he was just like vicious, you know?
Yeah, this that looks like it looks like a fun movie, but it looks like tragic. It's gonna put more emphasis on. This is something they never did in old movies. They're gonna put more emphasis on people trying to escape. Like they were going about their lives, and then it's like right now you're at home, and then you hear horns. You're like, "What's going on?" And something came up out the ocean, and it's walking through your city, knocking stuff over. And you're like, "Whoa! I wasn't ready for this." You know, it's one of those things, and it's like, what do you do? Sort of like I'm gonna tell you what brought this genre back with the new CGI. 11808. It was before it had a title. It was called 11808, aka Cloverfield.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that? And that movie was well done. That there was some discrepancies. You're like, oh, come on. But I understood it. And that was damn good. I really appreciated that. Yeah. It was like the monster movie version of the Blair Witch, sort of. You know, and that was pretty good. Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Cloverfield was well done. I remember. Excuse me. I remember when I bought the Blu-ray, and I put it on my home theater system. It was quite an experience because the way that they broke the sound up, that like the sound went around you in the room, you know, because it's like the beast was moving from one section to another, and stuff was getting knocked out of the way, and cars kicked over, and it's like that was a heck of a experience watching it on home theater, man. I was like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really awesome, man. And those little creatures that came off of the creature, I was like, oh my gosh, what is happening here, man? What is happening here? But those I just thought of another show we can do. I just thought of another show we need to do. We need to call this show, write this down. Who wins in a fight? And we just need to start crossing over who wins. You know what I'm saying? You know, who wins in a fight? Rambo versus Commando, Godzilla versus Cloverfield. Who else? Oh man, I had a good one. There's a bunch of things we can do. Who wins in the fight? You saw the Tomorrow War?
No.
Holy cow. Listen, those creatures were the cheat code. I got so frustrated watching that movie, like, yo, come on. There's a scene in that movie where you're like, of course they can do that. It's like just when you think you got one up on them, they start doing something else. It's like, oh, come on. Damn it. But the Tomorrow Wars was crazy. That's right, Hen Dog. Super 8. That was another good movie. That was well done. Super 8 was well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I'm looking forward to this Godzilla thing, man. Looking forward to that. You know what I'm waiting on? I'm waiting for them. I don't know what's taking them so long. Maybe the market is saturated, but can I get a Mazinga movie, live action. You know, can I get any of those, like the toys that I grew up, with the Godzilla, the Mazinga, and
Well,
can I get a live action of those?
Be honest with you, I think that's what you said the name of it, Pacific Rim.
Pacific
I think
Rim.
that's what those robots and stuff in there,
You think it's saturated the market?
Probably, but there's a guy out here who does CGI. He did a short clip. Did you ever see that?
No.
Of one of the, yeah, it might have been, it was either Mazinga or it wasn't Ray Dean, but he did one. It's out here because I saw it on YouTube, but it was a few years back.
I know a guy he's playing with CGI. He was bringing to life all of these super machines from the cartoons. I think he did the Harlog saga, and there's a highway he was driving on, like in Japan, and he CGI'd the ship flying alongside of it, and then it takes off into the. That was when I first got on YouTube, though. That was years ago. I said, man, that looks dope. And then he did one of these Gundam robots just sitting in the middle of Tokyo. I said, damn, how's he doing that? But yeah, they just need to do it and say what it is. But I really did like Pacific Rim, man. That's all I thought about. The Pacific Rim, that was a dope ass movie, man.
Yeah, there was a guy.
I forget, but I may know what you're talking about. That's a long time ago. I like that was when I was just on YouTube just looking stuff up. From anything from music to movies.
I could have sworn let me see.
He said Drew the Blob beats everything. He might. I don't know. The Blob might beat everything. I don't know, man. Might. Oh yeah, well, old school. Well, I can't wait to see it, man. I can't wait to see it. I may have seen the I may have seen what you're talking about. There was a lot of stuff out there. There was a lot of stuff out there on YouTube, like people with powered up computers. I mean, back like 12 years ago, I mean, they got computers now. You can like actually do a lot of good stuff now because technology has gotten a lot better. Let me see if I can find it. It's got to be on YouTube. It was like around 2008. Harlog saga. Harlock. I said Harlog. Harlock ship in Japan. They got a giant-sized Gundam in the park somewhere.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
Okay, check this out. This is what I thought it was Mazinga, but it wasn't Mazinga. It's Guy King.
Oh, okay.
Check this out. I'm gonna pull it up right now. You guys just enjoy this. Fair use.
Yeah, fair use.
And this is what I saw a few years ago. So this is not new. This is old. Not bad.
She done goofed up all those buildings in the street for what? Damn it.
Not bad at all.
That was nice.
And I saw that, man. That's got to have been well over 10 years ago.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm looking on the thing. It says 12 years ago. So that's how long it's been.
See if I can find it. I don't know. I wouldn't even know where to look for that damn thing. But I know this guy was hey, that's funny. I put Harlock ship flying in Japan, and I'm scrolling down, and our show comes up.
Really?
Along the side. Yeah, I'm looking right at it. That's awesome. That makes me feel good.
This episode?
This episode, it says live right now. That's crazy.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Because Godzilla and Kaiju and all of that is a part of that. What do you call it? Algorithm.
Yeah.
That's why we be telling people share the stuff and everything. Hit that like button because it comes up.
I'll find it one more time. There's a guy CGI'd it, and it looked like he was driving, and the ship is called the Albator. I think it's called the Albator, and it just came along, flying alongside the highway, and then it went up. I was like, man, how the heck did he do that? Oh, okay, I can't find it. I don't know why this came up. Man puts his hand in water jet and immediately regrets it. I'm not looking for that.
William says some months after -1 comes out, Godzilla times Kong will be out, and they team up against an ancient Kong species and an ancient Godzilla species that shoots a freeze beam.
Yes. Did you see that?
Yeah, I had heard about this. Yeah.
Yo, it's a they said they're gonna have to team up and fight. It was when they had that lizard versus ape war in the middle of Earth. There was a third species that actually killed both of them, and they said it looks like a bit of like an orangutan.
Right.
And man, yup. I'm looking forward to that. They're gonna have to team up and fight that thing, because I think they showed him sitting on a throne. It was like an orangutan species.
Yeah. Boy, we to no end do we enjoy these films. It's like, and now like with the CGI and technology that they can make everything so lifelike, it really all you know what has to be done, just like with anything else, is that as long as they can tell a good story, that's what will really drive it home, you know, because Shin Godzilla was scary, bro. That was scary
because he wouldn't stop. It's like, ugh, it was not over.
You remember when he started shooting lasers and stuff back at the choppers and jets that was attacking him?
Yeah.
Dude, he had lasers coming out of his body from all different types of angles and everything. It was like every time you did something to him or injured him, he have an automatic defense that will regenerate to attack back.
It's like, what do you do with the guy? That's what I'm saying. When you get a chance, watch the Tomorrow Wars. It's like, yo, and there's a scene in that movie where it's like they do something you think it's good, and then the monsters start attacking the ship, and they do something. I ain't gonna ruin it for you. They do something, and I remember being in the theater. I'm like, yo, yeah, of course they do that. Of course, why wouldn't they do that? And it's like if you was in the middle of that thing, you're like, okay, I think we got this, and then the creatures start doing something to contradict what you're doing. You're like, of course, of course they could do this. It's crazy, but yeah, that Godzilla was crazy. The Netflix series, the Godzilla Netflix series, it got so bad They left Earth for like 100 years. And when they came back, the Godzilla that they saw, I think they killed it. But what they didn't know was there was another one in the mountain that was like super bigger than the one they killed. I was like, it's like, yo, what do you do with this? Leave Earth again. It's like he beat up Earth so bad they came back. There's new monsters, there's new lizards flying around. It's like he created his own ecosystem. So now Earth is not habitable by humans. So when they fought the Godzilla that they thought killed everything, they finally get him. And then the mountain blows up, and this super duper Godzilla comes up out the mountain like, and they were like, yo, come on. We had all the, man, that sucked. Get in a fucking spaceship, leave again. It was crazy, man. Crazy. It's like Godzilla's like the end all. Godzilla is like nature's, y'all done effed off this planet. I'm gonna put this thing here and chase y'all out of here.
Yeah.
That's what these kaiju are. It's like, all right, y'all messed around. We're gonna give it back to them and get rid of y'all. This is symbolic. This Godzilla thing is all symbolic. Stepping on people, ruining structures. One thing they said is that when the humans came back to Earth, they said the atmosphere was super clean. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Like the world
because
went back to
like
normal.
you said, he created his own ecosystem. What happens is everything serves a purpose under that, and they share a certain type of equilibrium.
Yep.
I was watching, this was a couple of days ago. I'm trying to think. It might have been when I was on Blue Blood Friday evening. I was watching a praying mantis fight a spider. Somebody had a video of this. They put them in this habitat and they fought. And dude, the praying mantis jacked that spider up. and it wasn't a small spider. The spider was bigger than the praying mantis. But he did something, the praying mantis has those
the hooks,
right? He did something and poked the spider in the abdomen to injure him, right? Mm-hmm. And so the spider was jumping back like this on his hind legs. And the praying mantis locked his front legs up, because a spider got 8 legs. He locked his front legs up, pulled them down, and started munching on his abdomen, eating him alive. And the damn praying mantis ate the spider up, bro. A praying mantis, listen, if a praying mantis is the size of a man, you better run.
It's over.
Because they eat, bro, they eat like piranhas. They just be, and they just eat, it's ridiculous. William said he saw the video. Yeah, William, that damn praying mantis boy, he was going for it, Jack. I was like, man.
Did you see this? I'm gonna share this video. It says praying mantis has reached the final boss level. And I laughed my behind off. And I'm like, what is this? And I saw it on Instagram at first. And I said, what the heck is this, man? It said praying mantis has reached the final boss. And I was like, what are they talking about? Please play this. Can you pull this up?
Yeah.
Because I was like, what is going on here? This is funny.
Let me kill the music. Hold on a second.
This is funny. This was funny. Praying mantis has reached the final boss level. That's how it was. Look at this, man. This is funny. It's a laser cutter. Look. He's beefing with him. Look, he missed.
And he jumped on top of the thing. You didn't even see him fly up there like that.
That's funny. That is funny. I saw one of these in the trees at work. It wasn't bothering me, but I was like, man.
Listen, man, they hang out near flowers and trees and stuff, and they catch all types of insects and larger insects, and sometimes even something like a small bird or something. They man, praying mantis are
They're bad, man.
bro, they are something else, man.
You know what they're doing? I saw like I haven't seen them that much, but when I was at work, I'm like, I never see a praying mantis. Like I might see one a year. I seen like 6 in a week, and I'm like, what's going on?
You better be wondering what's
those lantern bugs that are here from Asia. They're everywhere out here, and they're at those trees where my garage is, and they're hanging out at those trees and they killing those bugs.
Yeah, see, that's the ecosystem, bro. It's like they come out for that. It's like they are designed for that. That's what they do. They kill those things. And man, whoo, I'm just saying, I'm scared to death of a praying mantis now, bro. After seeing what I saw, I'm serious, because I was like, that spider was about as big as my hand.
And it killed it.
And it killed that spider. And then started eating him. But he killed the spider by eating him. He didn't kill him first. The thing that they like to do is to eat their subjects alive.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to know what's messed up?
Munching on you. They just they do not.
I hate female praying mantises. You know what they do? After they mate,
they eat the male.
They eat the male. They eat his head off.
Yeah.
After he mates, they eat their head. I mean, come on. I mean, that's worse than the Sith Lord, the ruler too. Listen, somebody got to die eventually. It's like, come on. Who signs up for this?
For all of y'all that be talking about give me head, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Don't mess with one of them female praying mantis.
Yeah, it'd be over. It's curtains. Oh.
Gives a whole new meaning to swipe.
Oh,
yeah. But anyway, let me go ahead with this trailer, man, for Monarch, the Legend of Monsters, bro. Check this out. This is a miniseries that's coming to Apple TV. Y'all like that one, huh? I see all the smiling faces. Yeah, Stormy got a right sense of humor, man. I tell you, I come up with some stuff sometime. Hold on. Here, check this out.
I don't know if this will get to you. I hope so. I can't go back in time and fix all the mistakes I made.
Oh, look at that.
Maybe I could leave something for the future. A legacy.
The world is on fire. I decided to do something about it.
Hopes, dreams, ambitions.
The mission was to protect their world and ours.
It's what we wanted Monarch to be. Instead of chasing monsters.
If you come with me, you'll know everything, I promise.
Yep, I'll be signing up for Apple TV so I can watch that.
This is the Godzilla universe.
Yeah, that's the with Kong and Godzilla and that's the American one. Yeah, a mini series linking all of that up. And they want that to come out before the Godzilla versus Kong film, the second one, comes out.
Oh, so that's like an in between. It's the side story. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need
Ain't
to
that
see
something?
that.
It's like, dude, the Monsterverse, as far as those giant monsters, it's rolling.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, man. That they, and again, it's amazing what they do with CGI, man. It's amazing. It is amazing, man.
It
Yeah,
looked like there was a giant spider in there. Did you see him?
yeah,
Look like when he was
yeah,
running through the forest, and
yeah,
there was a giant spider in there. Man,
yeah. This is in it again. This is a this is a this is something that's not going to die off.
oh
It's always
no,
going to be
no,
there.
no.
Always gonna
They
be there.
just getting good with it now because, like you said, they could do the special effects now and stuff. It's like, they don't have to have tremendous budgets to do these things. So that's where it kicks off, man.
Man,
I don't know.
that's great, man. I'm looking forward to that, man. Ain't nothing like a good movie like that, man. What did I see in the theater when I was a kid? No. Wasn't in the theater. Whenever I saw like a Godzilla film, I was always at my aunt's house. It's late at night, and I forgot what channel. My dad, do you remember? I know in Chicago it's a little different, but out here on I want to say PBS, it's channel 13 out here. They played Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and at nighttime, they would play a monster movie, and my dad would watch, the Bela Lugosi films, and he would have his plate of food, and he'd come home late from work, but he'd be eating dinner, and I just want to hang out with my pops because it's the weekend, right? And I'd have the popcorn or whatever, and a couple of times the monster movie, it was either Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, but sometimes it was Godzilla. It was a Godzilla movie. And I remember the first Godzilla movie I saw was in black and white. It was a black and white film. And I remember sitting down with a big old thing of, I don't know where he got this from, but he had like strawberry popcorn. And strawberry popcorn, and I had my Nestle Quick with the powder in it, the strawberry one. I remember sitting there just watching Godzilla. And when you see things like this, it brings you back.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
a time. That's why this show is important, what we do here every Monday. That's why these characters, Godzilla, because the younger generation looks at that and they say, "Ooh, okay. See, for y'all, all of this is typical to y'all." But we were spoon-fed certain things. So we kind of we see it different. Dare I say, we appreciate it a little more because there's a history behind this. And Godzilla, this character that comes from the tragic mind of the people in Japan, this is an iconic character. And this is one of the things that I grew up watching. Godzilla, Kung Fu movies, and this is one of the things. The Godzilla films, man. So I'm really looking forward to this, man. Really looking forward to this. Man, this is great. Yeah, y'all, channel 11, the WB. Yeah. Pix 11. Yeah. Yep. I remember when the Sci-Fi Channel first came out up here, and they did a whole Godzilla marathon one Saturday. And it was perfect because there was like 1 million feet of snow outside. I ain't move. So I just sat in the house and watched every Godzilla film they played, man. Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Godzilla versus the Smog Monster, Rodan, dang, he had like
that Godzilla film that you said was in black and white was more than likely Godzilla Raids Again. That film is the follow-up to the original Godzilla from 1956, where this pilot, his plane crashed on this little remote island, but he was able to use the radio communications to ask for help. And there was a second pilot that came to assist him. And when he arrived on the island, Godzilla and this other creature called Anguirus start fighting. Anguirus is the one that looks like a giant porcupine, the things on his back. They were fighting on this island, and the two men was like trying to hide in between the gaps of the mountains because they were fighting, and there was a beach and everything. But yeah, that's called Godzilla Raids Again. I think that one was made in 1958 or something like that.
Wow.
It was a follow-up to the original Godzilla film. And from there, they started rolling. But yeah, it's just, hey, man, I have a special Criterion box set of Godzilla films that they say are from the Showa era. It's SHAWA, Showa. And so it's basically all of those films that came right up through the 60s and early 70s. But like I said, this Godzilla -1 will be the 33rd Godzilla film. So
33rd?
Yeah.
There's always room for Godzilla, like dessert. There's always room for Godzilla. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait to watch this, man. 33rd film.
Yep.
33rd film. When they did the King Kong, when they brought King Kong back and they did Skull Island, and they had, I mean, now when you watch movies, you got to wait till after the credits because there might be a post-credit scene. And when they had those cats locked in the room and they were explaining things that were going on, and when they got to that last clip and you said to yourself, wait a minute, that looks like, and then they played the Godzilla roar, the theater erupted like, oh!
Yeah.
We knew what it was. Man.
Yeah.
Knew they were doing it. And they pulled it off, man. Those are some solid films. You're not expecting an Academy Award, but those are some solid films they did. That Skull Island, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson wouldn't be beefing with a damn giant monkey, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
That was funny, man. That was funny. He said, is that a monkey? When they were flying in there, is that a monkey? He threw that whole tree at them, and then he stared him down with an attitude. I was like, oh, man.
I'm looking here on the wiki for Godzilla. They said Godzilla has a distinctive disyllabic roar.
Yep.
And it was created by composer Akira Fukubi, who produced the sound by rubbing a pine tar resin-coated glove along the string of a contrabass.
Oh!
And then slowing down the playback.
That is awesome. That's right up there. Now I like that better though. But that's like when I first, you know, in Star Wars, the lasers, how they sound.
The lightsabers, yeah.
Right. What no, the guns.
Oh, the pew, 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 yeah.
Did you see how they make that sound?
I saw it, but I don't remember what it was that they did. What is it?
They took an object and just hit a steel cable. Pew, pew. I was like, oh, that's it. Pew, pew. I was like, yo, that's crazy. He was standing outside. He said, you want to hit a laser? He's like, listen to this. Pew. I was like, yo, that's crazy. That was crazy. And I saw that back in the 80s. They played it on it was called Star Wars Secrets. It was on CBS out here. And I said, man, that was sick. It was they were out in the desert somewhere. He said, I'm gonna show you how we make the laser sound. He gets out the car and he walks up to this thing and he said, all right. He said, you ready? Pew. I was like, oh snap, that's it. He had like a pipe and it was a cable to another like a lamppost or something.
Right.
And it was in the ground. He just started hitting it. I said, yo, that's insane. That was awesome.
You know what, man? It's like that creativity. George Lucas's people that worked out of his original crew of special effects people and stuff, they came up with so much, man, stuff that it was amazing. That and everything grew out of that.
Yep.
And you remember the original lightsabers. I don't think you could find it on the films now, but in the original Star Wars films, the lightsabers, when they drew them and they go, and you know, of course, when they wave them, they go like that, right? But you could hear a little crackle. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a crackle.
Yeah.
You know, but they took that out. But that was a part of the original sound. And the blades used to just be they used to just be blue, like a white light.
Right.
But then later they added colors to them. But it's like, you know, it's amazing when you like. I got the Star Wars films on VHS. I got them on the original DVD releases. Then I got the special edition DVDs. And each time George Lucas brought them out in a different edition, they changed stuff. So it's really interesting how that, you know, but one of my favorites was the DVD set that had Revenge of the Sith. Because when you see the behind the scenes featurette disc on there, they tell you about the anthology, the history of the Star Wars films. There's a documentary on there, and it culminates with the behind the scenes stuff with Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
And they show you all this behind the scene footage of Ewan McGregor and the kid that played Anakin. They're practicing their lightsaber battles and stuff. And it's a lot of footage of that, man. It's so cool because some of that footage didn't even make it into the movie, but it's like watching them work and rehearse and all of that.
Yeah.
It was really cool. But what they were showing you on that documentary behind the scenes, they showed them working out and practicing their fight scenes, but they put the music from the movie to the scene.
Right.
It's like really cool.
Man, it's so much.
Yeah, I see Champion Heart out there. I told him the next time we talk about martial arts, we're gonna bring him on. So
right. Tell that Chuck Norris story.
Yeah. And maybe after our next show, because I've already put in the queue for our next show to talk about the X-Men.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like last week we talked about Dr. Doom. Next week we could talk about the X-Men. And the X-Men can be a multi-part show because there's so many. You know, we could talk about some of the inception of them or some of the main popular characters or whatever. We'll work it out what we're going to talk about. But and then maybe after that we could do another martial arts show where we can bring Champion Heart in so he could tell his Chuck Norris.
Definitely. We could definitely do that. You could do that. Man.
Yeah.
So this the Apple series comes out November 17th.
Yeah, around that time. Yeah.
Day after my birthday. So
Yeah.
that's wait, what date does my birthday's in the middle of the damn week again? Let me see. That's a Friday. My birthday's on a stinking ass. It's on a stinking ass Thursday. Whatever. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna get Apple TV just for that.
That's what you heard me say. I was like, you know, I'll order it just so I could watch that and then get rid of it. It's like I just want to see that, you know. Shauna says, "Did you see the series Obi-Wan Kenobi?" Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked
Pretty
about
solid.
it. We did a show on it.
We did.
Shauna, we did a Nerds on Culture on that show. So go back in the archives. We tell you guys all the time, don't sleep on us because we be covering stuff. Drew, how much stuff have we covered, man?
This is number 56, man.
Number 56. So we've been working, man.
Just go to the channel, put Noids on Culture, and just scroll down. We be working on here, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff, and my wheels been turning. I've been having a lot of a lot of ideas, man. A lot of ideas, and I wanted to do a best remakes show, and I mean, Godzilla's right up there. This might be the #1 remake because they keep doing it over. And as far as the Japanese is concerned, I've been quite satisfied with their product.
Yeah,
Very satisfied. I can't wait to see what this is, man. This is looking crazy. This is looking crazy. I'm liking this. I'm really liking this. Woo.
I mean, we put that, just to take a look at that one more time, that man.
I can't wait to see this one.
He looks mad, don't he? He looks like
pissed off.
Yeah.
You don't want no smoke with him. I wonder what the beef is and how do you stop him? Usually you got to trick him and he end up going back in the ocean and going away somewhere. The thing with the American version is these monsters, they don't eat people. They eat each other for the energy. Godzilla's an apex predator.
Yeah.
And that's what he was doing. He was the humans was insignificant to him. You know what I mean? So yeah. Let them fight.
Yeah.
That part was awesome.
So, hey man, give us some final thoughts as we get ready to get out of here, because I know we got your show coming up.
Yeah, man, it's another slam dunk. I look forward to my Mondays, man. This is the things you kick your feet up in. Godzilla is one of those things that puts me in touch with my childhood. I'm looking forward to these films. I'm looking forward to the Godzilla King Kong remix. Anything with Godzilla in it is all right with me, except the Matthew Broderick movie, because that was pretty bad. And shout out to Japan for killing that thing off. Because the story is, if y'all don't know, they called that Zilla, and he swam off into the ocean, ended up in Japan, and the real Godzilla blew him up and killed him. So you ain't got to worry about him no more. Zilla's dead. But this right here is, I can't wait to see this. This is insane. This is crazy. You know what I mean? I'm a sucker for it. I'm be in the theater with my large tub of popcorn. I'm gonna make sure it's a cheat day for me. I'm gonna eat stuff that I'm not supposed to eat that day. Hell yeah, man! And salute to you, Stormy. This is great. Godzilla. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's always fun, to enjoy these shows and create them for the because all of us, we're all geeks for this stuff, and to be able to enjoy them, I'm just happy to do this, because I go back and I listen to some of the shows sometimes if I'm doing something around the house or whatever, just to tune in, and it's all fun. I got one more thing I want to share since you was mentioning it. This right here, you guys we're gonna go on up out of here with this one. We're gonna roll right into our credits, but keep your eyes on.
Oh, that happened. He blew up Australia. Damn it.
Dude.
There goes Zilla. He's dead.
Yes.
You killed him fast. Get him out of there.
I told you he was 3 seconds. Just like Bolo said. He let his ass have it, bro. That's what you get for impersonating me.
Killed him fast. All the rock music, he just blew him up in 3 seconds.
But hey, man, great show, y'all. I want to say thanks to everybody that came out, man, and enjoyed the show with us this evening. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. We'll catch you guys again next week for another Nerds on Culture. Peace.
Yes, sir.